This is a little update video to the Maygay board that I fixed the other day. I'll just watch these LEDs for a minute, see if it will do it. There you go. And it does that at random intervals. Now that's not a board fault. That's a glitch in that 68681 there. I've actually worked out what it is. There's a bank of registers in there. I think it's got about 15 or 16 different registers, and the last two, one of the registers is used to tell when to set the LEDs on, and one is used to tell when to set them off. You can't set them on and off in the same register. One switches them all on, one switches them off. I think sometimes it's not properly reading the one to switch them off. And I'm trying to explain it best I can in layman's terms. Also, more often than not, this board and a couple of others I've seen in the past, fully working boards have something which I can only describe as a hot start fail. Now this board's been running about an hour, see if it'll do it. Yeah, there we go. Won't start up after it's been running for a certain length of time. And give it a minute. Now the board's working, as you can see, all the ROMs and everything working. I thought at first I had RAM corruption, but no. Again, it's an issue with this. It's actually an issue with that pin there, number 9, which happens to be DTAC. Without going into too much technical terms, think of DTAC as like this placing a phone call out to this, and then this picking up and talking back to this. Well, when this is placing its phone call, so to speak, this is either ringing out or engaged. That's the best way to describe it. Now you can get the board to start again, but very carefully. Try and get it on camera. That's the clear bit of U29, that counter up there. That's just a random counter bit. And if I short the two of them together, a bit like that, see if it takes off. Do it again. Doesn't always work, this. There you go. Now there's the lights doing it again. Now that annoyed me for hours the other night. I tried different CPUs, a different RAM. I tried swapping some of these parts about down here. Nothing wrong with the board. Everything buzzes out the way it's supposed to, and when it's running, it runs. Apart from, like I said, that glitchy register in there. As I said in the previous video, I don't think that's a genuine 68681. But I did discover something. And it made me do a double take at first. I looked at the schematic at how DTAC works, where it connects to, and how it talks to this. And then I looked at the data sheets for the 68681, and I realised that Maygay made a bloody mistake on the board. The DTAC line pin 9 on this is supposed to have a pull-up resistor. There isn't one on the board. So if this DTAC line goes wrong for any reason, and it can do with a perfectly working board, that's why sometimes you see them blip the reset once or twice before they actually take off. If that DTAC line hangs, the board isn't going to start. It's never going to start. So you could be working on one of these, seeing it hang like it was doing, and not have a clue why. It was just purely by accident I discovered one method of releasing it. Totally by accident. It's damn near impossible to do. You've just got to get it at the right time. All I'm doing there when I short that counter, those 2 pins of that counter out, is I'm forcing pin 1 of this from high to low, which takes DTAC out of the equation because that's an AND gate, and if either end of it's low, it's not going to work. So the DTAC pulse doesn't get through. Also, you can tell it needs a pull-up resistor because, again, I've seen this quite a lot. If you try and probe pin 2, you see what DTAC's up to. Look, board resets. And it might come out of reset by itself, or it might not. So when DTAC's hanging, see how that's sort of floating? Because there's no pull-up resistor on there, the DTAC line isn't being driven properly. It's an open collector input. What that means is it doesn't send a signal out, it pulls one in. But it needs a pull-up resistor to set a level for it to pull down from. If the pull-up resistor isn't there, it's a miracle that the Maygay board works at all, like that. Oh, wrong one. So, what I've ended up doing is I can't send that board back like that with this goofy 68681. I'm going to keep that because for the most part it works. I mean, as far as I can tell, everything else works. It's just the dodgy register. I found another one lying around. This is a Philips SCN 68681, and you'll notice I put a pull-up resistor across it. I put a resistor from pin 9 to pin 40, which is the power pin. What's the difference? I'll just pause this a second. Right, new chips in. How's that for a reset? Instant. Now watch the difference. I can read DTAC now, and it has no effect whatsoever on the board. And if we watch, I haven't seen it do it. I don't think we get the goofiness with the lights, because all the registers in this one are working. Let's say this. one of the register bits is wrong in that. If you think of it as a lot of departments in a department store, the one that deals with the lights isn't working properly. But I said, I don't know if that would affect anything else. Focus on my camera is horrific tonight. There we go. Nearly. There. See, look at the pins on this as well, and the pins are far too shiny. I mean, I know it's a new chip, but that almost looks like it's been polished and tinned. It doesn't... I don't know, it just doesn't look right. And you see the difference with that one. I mean, I know... I mean, look how shiny they are. That just doesn't look right. They look like they've been polished or tinned or something. This is either not genuine or it's not new. You can quite clearly see that one's working. And if I turn it off and I turn it back on, there's no delay in the reset whatsoever. So I'm pretty sure that this hot start thing I'm seeing here, and I've seen it in a couple of other boards as well, is a glitch with DTAC, and I think it does need the pull-up resistor. It's either that, or if you remember, I'm using an M1A GIL with this. Maybe the M1B GIL deals with a lack of pull-up resistor somehow, but I don't think so. It's either the user model is 68681. Well, no, it could be the user model is 68681 that's got an internal pull-up resistor, because some of them do. You get a Toshiba model of it that it does. But I know from the datasheet that the Motorola one doesn't. And I've got another 68681 Motorola version on another M1B that I've been working on. And then I've got another one with a different version of it altogether, quite an oddball one. But just adding that pull-up resistor just seems to make everything work. Well, it makes the logic work clearer, according to the logic probe. It certainly makes the reset a lot cleaner. I mean, nearly every Maygay board I've seen in the past will flash the reset once or twice before it starts up. And this one does. With that in, if it's been off for a while. So, I think really the way to go forward with anybody who's fixing one of these boards is to install a pull-up resistor like that. Or you could put it down here between pins 2 and pin 14 of U30 there, and it would do the same thing. You know, the lights are definitely fine. It's definitely a register fault with this. So that, Mr. Hardy, is now your board. As far as the processor goes, that's your board fixed. What we need to deal with now, I'm still a bit apprehensive about doing this because I'll need to somehow prise that plastic off and then deal with it a pin at a time. The only issue left is that. Need to fix that plug. Could take it off a scrap Maygay board, I suppose, but it's what's been damaged on the traces underneath, and you see the corner of the board burnt there. Maybe the best thing to do with that is just leave it and use the separate lead-in cable that you were using. I don't know. But yeah, this video's going on a wee bit too long. Yeah. So that was Maygay hot start fix. And no doubt there'll be other Maygay videos following shortly, or maybe I've got something a bit different and interesting that I got off the old eBay. That'll show off soon, and well, maybe we'll try and get this to do our own evil bidding. Or maybe I'll build some sort of test program for this and see just what registers work and what registers don't in that. I'll send this back. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll send this back with this board, and then it's up to you where you claim a refund for it or just keep it as spare. Like I said, it probably will work in your machine fine, because it's all different registers it works with. If it's showing the same sort of issue on another register as it does with the one controlling these LEDs, I think the only thing that would happen is your alpha display would screw up. You would start getting garbage on your credit display. And it wouldn't happen all the time, but you're welcome to keep this as a spare or as a tanning aid, because those pins can blind you when they reflect the light. It's definitely, I've never seen pins as shiny as that in my life on a chip. No way. But yeah. Alright.